Good morning, everybody. Hello and welcome to our next webinar with the topic News, Light and Building 2016, Part 2. Yeah, my name is Thorsten Reibel. Today I'm not together with Jürgen here, but I will conduct the training together with Ilya at ABB Busch-ControlTouch. So I will take one part and Ilya will take the other part. 3 weeks ago we had our first part of the news of light and building in terms of building automation products from ABB. Mainly products from ABB Stutzkontakt the last time, and today all new products from mainly Busch-ControlTouch. Yeah, let's have a look into the agenda for today. So I will start with ABB-free at home, but with a new version, free at home wireless. I will explain what's available or what will be available in the next future around this. Then Ilya will continue with a door communication topic, ABB-Welcome. There are some new products behind. And then finally, we continue with our ABB-IBAS KNX solutions. And there are three different new products we would like to explain a bit. The Busch-ControlTouch KNX, very interesting product. And some, a family of new sensors, specially made for commercial buildings. So it's a collection of different sensors with different constellations. And then I will finally talk about KNX LED Dimmer. Also two new products here. I will explain a bit, which will be also available very soon. Yeah, that's a topic for today. So allow me to start with a free at home topic, but with a wireless solution we have very soon. So ABB free at home wireless is a topic. Yeah, I hope and I think so everybody knows our famous and successful free at home solution with bus communication based on 2 wires. We launched 2 years ago in many countries already for mainly home automation. Our own home automation system, very successful in the last 2 years, and as it is based on a 2 wires communication on wires, it's mainly made for new installations or new buildings. But of course, there's also a big market for retrofit installation. Means you have existing installation, existing buildings where you would like to improve the electrical installation by any building automation. And that's especially the topic for the wireless solution. And as free at home is a very successful and powerful solution for home automation, we have used the same constellation. So we use the same principle with system access point, the way of programming together with our new wireless constellation. So it opens new possibilities, especially for modernization projects, for existing installation where you would like to improve the situation with the home automation. Yeah, the technology we will see later on in a further slide is based on meshed network. So we will see what does it mean. It's a very reliable and solution which also allows to communicate over certain distances. New is that we will have a new system set point which can handle both the wireless solution we will have and also the wired solution. So you can combine free at home wired together with free at home wireless via one common new system access point. Yeah, the applications are more or less what we have used already in our classical free at home solution. So it's smart home automation for lighting control, for heating, air conditioning, for blinds and scenes, time programs, and so on. Everything you know already. Yeah, a small look to the overview of the system. You see here the system access point. As mentioned, it will be a new version supporting both the wired free at home solution we know already with all the components and the new wireless. What does it mean finally? You can extend your wired solution with an additional 64 wireless components. So in total, 128 components could be now in one free at home system. 64 wireless and 64 wired components. And again, our focus here, renovation projects, retrofit installation can be done now easily with a wireless free at home solution. Yeah, let's have a look into some features listed here. For the electric installer, of course, it gives him some new options to offer for existing projects, new solutions he could not do with the existing wired solution. So new market also for him for existing installation. Of course, all the intelligent control functions we know already he can offer in such a solution. For example, also this solution via my ABB Living Space portal with any email or push messages is possible. Of course, in Free at Home, you know the time functions he can offer now. Also speech control, which will come very soon, will be available. So all the features we know already are now also possible with a wireless solution, and any electric installer can offer here much more. So it gives us new markets also. The big market for existing installation is now open for us in home automation. Yeah, I mentioned already at the beginning meshed network. What does it mean? You see here, yeah, a constellation of some wireless free at home components. I will give you later on an overview about the devices which will be available. And you see here some push buttons, but also, of course, the new system access point. Wireless communication means that we work on 2.4 gigahertz frequency. Should be useful for any country all over the world. And wireless, what does it mean? We need also an encryption, and it's done with via this AES 128 concept. Means it's coded with 128-bit. That should be absolutely enough for such a communication. So protocol, as in the free at home wired solution, is our own proprietary protocol. So not open like KNX for any other systems. Yeah, and what does it mean, meshed networks? You see here a bit chaotic arrows. Every device is connected wireless with each other device. It looks like the following. The system access point creates a kind of routing procedure. Means if the components are connected, it calculates the most efficient way of communication between different wireless components. And not only directly, but also via other components, the communication take place. To have a safe and safe communication also over long distances. And this routing procedure, routing table, which will be created, will be, let me say, made transparent for all the components, so they know how to send telegrams via different components. So if you add a new device, then again, for this new device and the new communication, a new routing table will be calculated and assigned to the devices. So it's an intelligent solution to create the best communication between these different wireless components. Yeah, I think functions we discussed already in one of the first slides. Again, all the functions we know already: blind control, monitoring of windows, control of heating, air conditioning, switching and dimming of lights, of course. Also, we will have dim actuators. In the next slides, I will show you the new components which will be available. And last but not least, we have also our door communication system, which can be integrated into free at home. Also, this, of course, will be possible with this new constellation. Yeah, a small overview of the components which will be available. You see here, more or less only flush mounted devices. So we have our components which are partly only sensors, but partly also integrated actuators. So more or less the same, already. You see here more or less only the bus coupler, let's say. You can connect all these design covers you know already from free at home. These plastic parts you snap here on this coupler. Let's have a look to these components which are available. You get a 1-volt sensor and a 2-volt, but no actuator inside. Then the combination of sensor and actuator: 1-volt sensor, 1-volt actuator, 2-volt sensor, 1-volt actuator, and both 2-volt sensor and 2-volt actuator as well. And additionally, you see it here, the motion sensor, also available with an integrated actuator. Yeah, then for dimming, of course, also components necessary. 1 or 2 volt sensors can be connected and one output integrated for dimming. Blind control, motor control, available again with a 1 volt sensor and a 2 volt sensor. Then, of course, we have a changeover contact to run a motor in this component. And finally, the room temperature sensor, so room temperature controller, without integrated actuator or with integrated actuator available. Yeah. Here is a hint. What does it mean? With extension unit, these components have an additional input to connect any conventional push button to operate the local, let me say, actuator. So it gives us you options to add an additional push button here for local operation. Yeah, you don't see any DIN rail components here. DIN rail components, of course, you can use the wired solution. It's much easier, of course, to connect this via wired in a distribution port. So there is no need for any wireless DIN rail components here in this solution. But you have all these components you need for decentralized installation here, also in a wireless version available. These kind of bus coupler for these sensors available in 2 versions. Range 60 is for the VDE market with the frame here to screw this on a wall box. Important is all these components need 230 volt connection. I've just mentioned. Of course, if you have an existing installation, you would like to replace any existing conventional switch, there you have 230 volt available. So no problem to connect this here to energize the electronic. Yeah, the range 44 is for some export market, British standards. For the Swiss market, it's a bit different in the housing here. And there are also some removable claws here to connect this or to integrate this into the dedicated wall boxes. So both versions will be available. Yeah, but some further devices I would like to show here, which will be available for the wireless free at home solution. A window sensor. You see it here. It can be connected to a standard window with a handle with a grip. You can use the existing grip, and you use only this additional component between the frame and the handle itself. To monitor, is the window open, closed, or in a tilted position, as you can see here on this window. And of course, it's a free at home wireless component, can send directly, if you open the window, wireless a telegram to your touch panel to give you the information about the position of the window. And then additionally, a universal sensor is here available. Kind of window contact to detect is a door or a window open or close. It's independent of the handle of the grip, and in principle, a kind of classical magnetic reed contacts. Both are wireless components, but no 230 volt connection necessary. So it's battery driven. You have a battery inside, so very easy to install, and you're independent of any wires, of course, here as well, to communicate and to supply the device. In addition, we will have valve drive, let's say valve drives. You can mount directly on your radiator. You see here on the lower right window. It's an integrated room temperature controller, but also an actuator to run directly the valve behind in any radiator. Also here, no wires necessary, neither for communication nor for the supply of the device. You need here also a battery. So it's a very simple and easy installation. There are 2 versions then available. One, you see here on top, without the option to change the set point without display. But the second version gives you this option. You can see it here. It's a rotating knob. You can change any set point, and the set point and also any status information will be shown here on the display. And in addition, you have here 2 buttons to close the valve, switch off, and to go to an echo mode, standby mode, to save energy a bit. And of course, fully integrated then in the wireless constellation. So you can assign it to any time profiles you would like to program for this room temperature control. That's easily possible via the user interface in the system access point. Yeah, an additional accessory we have here, it's a external radio antenna. It's for extending the, let me say, it's a receiving of signals for the system access point. So if your system access point installed in any basement room where you have very bad reception of signals, you can use this additional antenna to improve the situation. Yeah. So only if necessary, in some special cases, it might be useful to have this additional component. Yeah, last but not least, some impressions or some first information about pricing of the solution. I don't want to show you the all list prices of all these devices, but let's compare it with a free-at-home wired solution. Let's take an example here, a sensor switch actuator combination. For free-at-home, it's 75 euros, and for the wireless situation, it will be a bit more, around 100 euros. Yeah. So a bit more necessary, but I think it's still okay. Very, very interesting price. Yeah, availability, the R60 VDE version will come in autumn this year, all the components. The version R44 for some export markets beginning of next year. Yeah. So it's visible when it will come, and so wait, I think it's a really good solution and gives us new markets. I would like to hand over now to Ilya. He will continue with the door communication ABB-Welcome. Just a moment, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Thorsten. Hi, guys. I hope you're all doing quite good. Welcome from my side. This year we launched, or we are going to launch, a lot of new innovations, a lot of new products, a lot of new solutions. As you already saw, and Thorsten mentioned it, we have big markets we want to approach. We have a lot of chances we want to face. The retrofit market and the renovation market. As you can see, the main focus of free at home was to face the new market, the renovation market, and the same market we also want to face and to approach with our welcome system. Step by step, we are going to extend our welcome system. This is, I think, the fourth step of the extension for our welcome system. And what we did, we brought out this year, it's already available since yesterday. This was my latest information. The System Controller Mini. The System Controller Mini, it's a new system controller. It is the system controller will of course not substitute the typical one. There are also some slightly difference. This new system controller Mini is more made for the renovation market users and use cases. Wherever you have a renovation project, you are very, for example, limited in your distribution board, because it is from the beginning not planned to have 12 modular wide devices and so on. And we brought out a new 6 modular wide devices like this one here. There are some slightly differences, of course, not just the space, also in some possibilities, but what remains the same is it is still 2-wired. It still included the audio and video module, and it is also very powerful. That means you can also have a lot of projects you can realize with it. There are, of course, some differences. If you compare this to the system controller, the main one, you have in this case just one indoor channel, not two, just one, but this is for this kind of markets are completely enough. You have potential free contact. But in this case, like you see it here, you need to choose. Do you want to use this potential free contact as a contact for the light or as an external door opener? You have already on board a 12-volt door opener, but this is mostly the main difference between the system controllers. The system controllers, that means it gives us also a lot of opportunities. Even with the system controller mini, you can realize projects with higher demands and requirements of devices and solutions or possibilities like you can see here. You are also able to include 12 devices, handheld audio devices, 10 devices with a display, or also 2 indoor stations. So this is for mostly completely enough for some renovation markets. This was also one main product we launched this year, or we showed this year on Light and Building, and it was for our customers, installers, a very, very interesting product, because they are now in this position to renovate. They have projects and they need to renovate, to reconstruct it, and to modernize it. Next is we have in some countries, you need to fulfill a standard of barrier-free living. In that case, we bring out a module, additional module. In that case, let me say a hearing impaired person exactly knows the status of ringing, of speaking, of opening, and not available, but over illuminated indicators. In Germany, it is still a standard. In the north of Germany, there we need to fulfill the standards, and maybe it is also for your countries can be a very interesting module. We have also some further modules, one blind module and one info module. The blind module, we call it also as a dummy. That means this gives you the chance, if you want to have an auto station in more apartment building, a multiple apartment building, but it's still not completely finished. So what you can do is at first to plan a bigger auto station and to cover it with this kind of dummy. This is one example. The next example is maybe you have some third-party devices you want to cover. Example, transponder access control, not from Busch, from other third-party factories, manufacturer, or something like that. The next one is the info module. The info module is illuminated. That means what you can do here is to display, for example, some office information, door numbers, of course, or also some opening times of your office, something like that. Both modules are so-called additional modules. That means you can put it everywhere in the auto station, wherever you want, but only not on the first position. It is not the substitute for the basic module, because on the back side you have not the rotary knobs for the programming. A big demand from the market is to have an extension of cameras. If you have a project and you want to include more than the given camera you have in the auto station, we have now a camera interface. In one Welcome project, you can integrate up to 4 interfaces like this one, and each interface can control up to 4 analog cameras like this one. So it's also very attractive for the renovation market, because in some apartments, you have an auto station, for instance, and you are maybe on the third or second level. The door at the front, the main door is open. That means someone comes into the house. He's ringing at your floor ring bell, so you have no chance to see who is outside. Then, for example, you can use these cameras. These cameras are also prepared for as an indoor camera, also as an outdoor camera. If you want to update some existing welcome stations with the new solutions, you can of course use our interface, but what you also need is a new basic module. We will also come with a new basic module for the auto station, which is possible to interact with this camera. And what is also necessary, if you have an existing video station or comfort panel or IP gateway or also a free at home panel, you need to do a software update. We will bring out a software update. The programming of the camera interface, it's nothing new. You have some rotary knobs. You use it like you already know, or already you are familiar with the programming of the outdoor station and the existing indoor station. It's completely the same. And the cameras, yes, we have our own cameras, but the cameras are not very special. They are typical analog cameras. So you can also use analog cameras from some different manufacturers. The only important thing is the video signal input is here 1 volt peak. That means some third-party cameras needs to fulfill this standard. What is also nice is the cameras are equipped with an infrared night view modus. That means in complete darkness, you can also see a black and white picture very clearly. And in some cases, you of course want to cover with a video picture your property, but also maybe you are in a part where you also have a view on some public areas, and this can be, depends on country to country, can be forbidden. The camera itself includes also a small joystick on the cable, and with this joystick you can mask the public areas, so you can blend them out if you want, so that you have just your private zone you want to cover. One request from the market, it's here not very spectacular, but very important. In some cases, you have no chance to mount the video station directly onto the wall. And they ask us, okay, do you have a standalone desktop stand like this one you can offer us? Yes, now we have one. Very nice, very heavy quality, prepared and compatible with free at home panel, and of course the welcome panel. The assortment in an overview. The price, I think you will already receive from your country responsible here from Busch-Jaeger and Stotz. Here to give you some overview about the cameras and the video interfaces. My personal point of view is that we are not only attractive with the quality and the possibility, we are also very price attractive. Just to give you an image, we compared some video interfaces with different manufacturers. We are on the same price level, but the big difference is that for instance, our interface supports up to 4 cameras, and from the other manufacturer, mainly just 1. So we are here also in a big advantage. One of the next very nice solution we can offer is the Busch-ControlTouch, because of visualization becomes more and more important. not only somewhere centralized in a building, in an official building, the administrating building, but also to have a visualization in a private house, and also to be possible to have the visualization on a mobile device, and of course a possibility of remote control. For that reason, we have some motivation objectives to bring out a new product, which is very easily to program. You have a very easy KNX visualization. You don't need to have a special interface, programming interface. You have a completely web-based commissioning interface. It works over my ABB Living Space portal. You can program it over this portal. You can register the device as a electrical installer and then forward it if you already program it to your customer. And we want a different integration to Sonos. We want to have a new PNP application inside there, and. This was our objectives to follow the demands of the markets. We brought out DIN rail product, so-called like a black box. It's a DIN rail product, not like the Comfort Touch where you have no visualization included. This product is very, very powerful. It supports you with the complete possibilities of KNX. So you can add such control elements like you want for light, for blinds, for heating, and so on. But you, of course, have a lot of more function inside. You can create your own scenes. You are completely independent, also as a customer. You can also integrate your own time profiles. You can include different IP cameras. You have an integrated presence detection in combination with your mobile phone. That means if you are going into your house and your mobile phone connects to your Wi-Fi, the product will recognize it and start a welcome scene, for instance. You can also use third-party devices over UPnP or HTTP protocols to, if you start a scene, to also start your smart TV. Everything is possible. And one very, very powerful function is also the script editor, the logic editor inside. Here you can write and program your own script. So you are very, very free in terms of automation, individual automation here. This is what you see in the distribution boards for the customer. He has a very, very nice interface over the web and over the app. He can place his buttons. He can customize his pages, navigation pages, and operation pages. He can do here everything to control his complete building with a lot of functionalities, with diagrams where he can use a data logger to see and to visualize his consumptions for 1 month, 3 months, 3 years. He can zoom in. He can do almost everything with the app. For the remote control, at present we are providing the possibility to use the virtual private networks. That means you need to open your router. You can do it over VPN, virtual private network, if your router supports this. And you can use, of course, the port forwarding to connect to your system in home. My ABB Living Space is for programming the device and for register devices. With this solution, we have a lot of use cases. It is not only made for some private residential homes. It is also made for official buildings, also for hotels, multi-purpose buildings. So this is made more universal. Yeah, in summary, here a summary of the already mentioned arguments and possibilities. What is maybe for you more important is we will bring and launch it soon, maybe at the end of the April or at the beginning of the May, and it will cost around about 899 euros. We will stay in KNX solution because we have also a lot of commercial buildings projects, and there are in some cases there are a little bit slightly difference because we need special products, a special product range for functional buildings. We need compact devices, one modular devices. It means sensors, including bus coupler units. We also want to make it very easy to program. That means we are avoiding separate software like Power Tool. Everything is programmable over ETS, and we are coming with a new product, the CO2 and humidity sensor, which detects the CO2, and if you pass a limit, you can of course use it as a KNX function and open the window, start the ventilation, something like that. The products we will have are so-called Busch button coupling units. You already know some coupling units from ABB. These are a new version. This allows you also to mount the already existing free at home cover plates on it. That means you have labeled covers for scenes, for light, for dimming, for blinds. You can use it, and each bus coupler unit now has also an internal integrated temperature sensor. You can use it in KNX. We will also come with a new RTC with a 5-gang flush-mounted universal input, the same like the CO2 humidity sensor with integrated RTC. Also with a 5-gang universal input. The universal input means you have some contacts on the backside. You can use the universal input, for instance, as 5 binary inputs. That means, example, you can integrate conventional push buttons to extend your system. You can also use an analog input like 1 to 10 volt and 5 binary inputs. This you can parameterize over ETS. Or you can also say, no, I also want to have one external temperature included. This is also possible, for example, a PT1000. Our already existing push button coupler units, we did a kind of modification. The modification means in the past, you need to decide, do you want a bus coupler unit for the conventional flush-mounted switches or for IP44 like Ocean? In this case, you have just one bus coupler unit for Ocean and for the conventional switches. That means conventional rockers. The difference is there is the carrier plate. We removed the carrier plate, but it is still in the package. That means you can use a bus coupler unit and use it for Ocean as well as for the conventional. All in all, around assortment of VDE markets, for products for VDE markets, but also for the British standard market. Here, an overview about the assortment regarding price and availability. Very soon we can expect the launch of the push button 2-gang coupler unit, as you can see here. And here's the RTC with universal inputs and the CO2 humidity sensor. The next will follow step by step. And here the British standard, and you can see here already available. Yeah, from my point. If there are some questions, please ask. I have here some questions. Have you received the feedback on pricing from other markets? Example, analog dome cameras is around 99 euros. It is very difficult now to compare 90 euros in comparison to our 450 euros. You need to read the specification. You need to read the camera resolution. You need to compare the technical details. Yes, of course, you will find also cameras for 20 euros, but it's not comparable with our high-end cameras. So this is very difficult to compare it. So otherwise, I would pass over to Thorsten again.
Okay, yeah, just move over the ball in the upper right side table, then I can continue. The green and blue ball.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
have to
sorry,
move over.
not to Thorsten, not to Jürgen, to Thorsten, like this one. So, okay.
Good, thank you, Ilya. So I continue with the last product, the KNX LED Dimmer. So what's behind? Yeah, we talk about LED dimming, and everybody knows that's the topic coming more and more into practice, both in commercial buildings, but also in private buildings. And here, very often, colored lighting is required, RGB lighting. And very popular are these LED stripes now on the market, with normally RGB lighting, where you can create any interesting light in your private house. Has different colors. And on the market exists already these complete solutions with a transformer inside, with an IR receiver to be controlled with a very simple remote control. But then it's a standalone solution. Even better is it to integrate in our KNX building automation. And that's together with these two new components I would like to show to you now possible. So you can control colored lighting, RGB, but also in 4 channels if you have an additional white LED integrated. And so up to 4 channels are available, and 12 and 24 volt LED modules are connectable. Yeah, as mentioned, for decorative lighting, for example, and that's the target behind. So not for any retrofit LED, which already have integrated, let me say, 230 volt connected and electronic, which can be directly replaced with existing devices. So for these LED stripes, that's a topic here. Yeah, of course, LED dimming is possible, flicker-free, that's a topic. So people would like to have a very smooth dimming. And can be used for some specialties you see on the left side. Here, any colored lighting in an outdoor area, wellness area, for example. Here, indirect lighting for any kitchen, for example. So very nice, illumination effects are possible with these solutions. So what do we have for you? 2 components. LED dimmer 6155/30 with up to 4 channels. With constant voltage. What does it mean? LED are very sensitive against overvoltage or wrong voltage. And this is here guaranteed that you have a constant voltage. But you can, of course, dim also these connected LED stripes via pulse width modulation. So up to 240 watt is possible in total. And if you use it in 4 channels, each channel has 2.4 ampere. With an output voltage of 12 to 24 volt. Important is that you need external power here. So you cannot directly connect 230 volt here. You need an external, let me say, a transformer to do this here. Price 198 euros. Yeah, and the second component we have for you is the same principle. You can also connect up to 4 LED channels, let's say. Again, with constant voltage, but we have here an integrated power supply. So you connect here only 230 volt, and the necessary output voltage, in this case 24 volt, is then directly available here at the outputs. Output power up to 100 watt. So if you use 4 independent channels, each channel up to 1 watt. But imagine or keep in mind that LEDs are low power normally, and with this power of 100 watt and even more with 240 watt, you can do already a lot. Yeah, you can connect a lot of LED lighting here, LED stripes. As it has an integrated power supply, it's a bit more costly here. In this case, 335 euros list price. Yeah, availability is in October 2016. Yeah, some more features of these components, some more or less software features. So dimming, of course, from very low value up to 100%, very smooth dimming possible. It's a decentralized device, so normally it will be installed directly next to the lamp. You have some software features like implemented color sequencer, so to have a kind of colored light show possible. Of course, each possible. Of course, channel is switch and dimmable, and you can create any groups and also light scenes. And furthermore, there is a master-slave function available, so you can create one channel as a master and the others as a slave. So then you have a very smooth and, let me say, consistent dimming on the same light level for all channels in one device. Okay, if you have to use or you would like to use a component without integrated power supply, of course you need external power adapters, which are available from ABB, but also, let me say, from any other supplier if necessary. Yeah. And if you're familiar with these LED stripes, there are also some special connection terminals available to connect maybe one more stripe to an existing one. Also, these special connectors are available on the market. Good. Yeah, that's it from our range of new components shown on the Light and Building Fair. Before we come to the final questions, I have here some final, let me say, slides to inform you about existing brochures about our new products. So KNX in commercial buildings, these are mainly the products from ABB Stutzkontakt, and the other brochure is here from the news of Busch-Jaeger. You have seen in both of our webinars 3 weeks ago and today. So if you want, you can order this here, also available in a printed form. Yeah, then information about our standard trainings I would like to give to here. As always, we have our certified advanced training in July this year. So 5 days training. So if you want, or some of your customers, still some places available. And in October, if somebody needs a tutor course, also as always in autumn of every year. And then our security topic, security panel GMA 8.1. There will be also an open basic training in June, 5 days basic training. So with the basics of security and of course a lot of practice and training around this new security panel GMA. So if you want, you can join, or one of your customers can join this training here in Heidelberg. Good. Next webinar in 4 weeks, end of May. No topic at the moment. Surprise, surprise. We will see what we are going to do, but of course you will be informed on time. And then we will have our next webinar in 4 weeks here, as always. Then we can finish our webinar for today. So thank you for participation. You get the feedback email as always with the presentation and the recorded file. And if you have still other further questions, send us by email. We try to answer this then also in our feedback email finally. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. See you next time.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.